What's up, everybody? It's E the Prophet here to do another video. And this video is going to be called, I don't care what the commentators say, Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes is the biggest upset in the entire history of the UFC. Now, before I get into the biggest upsets I've seen since I've been watching the UFC, I want to say I'm going to do a contest where I'm going to be giving away a $20 Visa gift card. If you watch till the end of the video, I'll give you the details about the contest. Don't worry, it's not going to be a very long video. But anyway, I've seen about 3 huge upsets since I've been a UFC fan. I've probably seen more, but there's 3 that really come to mind, and I'm going to talk about them, and I'm going to rank them for you and tell you why I rank them the way I do. Now, the first upset I want to talk about is the one I heard Michael Bisping and several others talk about as the biggest upset in the UFC, and that is Matt Sera versus GSP. Now, I want to give you all a little bit of context about this fight. Now, Michael Bisping said that Matt Sera wasn't even in the UFC, and they brought him in, and he got a title shot, and he won, and it was the biggest upset. Nah, it wasn't quite like that. Matt Sera was invited to be on the Ultimate Fighter along with, I think it was 11 other fighters. And the winner of the tournament was going to get a title shot at GSP. So understand, that Matt Sera beat 3 or 4 other guys to win that tournament and become the number 1 contender and get the title shot against GSP. So at this point in time, when Matt Sera actually fought for the title, he had been through the tough house, he had been through that rigorous training, all those different trainers, learning all this new stuff. Matt Sera was probably in the best shape of his life when he fought GSP for the title. And also factor in that Matt Sera was a short, stocky, muscular dude with a lot of power, with a serious right hand. To be honest, Matt Sera hit harder than GSP. Matt Sera had much more power in his hands than GSP did. And Matt Sera was probably a little bit better at jiu-jitsu, to be honest. So it wasn't quite the upset that everybody made it out to be. It was definitely an upset. Don't get me wrong. It was an upset, but it was by no means the biggest upset, ever in the UFC. Like I said, Matt Sera caught him with that right hand and knocked him stupid and won the title. And GSP probably overlooked Matt Sera. Might not have took him as seriously as he should have. But understand, anybody that Matt Sera would have caught with that punch probably would have went down. Like I said, Matt Sera has some serious power in his hands. So while that was an upset, by no means the biggest upset, not even the second biggest upset, I would rank Matt Sera versus GSP as the 3rd biggest upset I've seen in the UFC. So let me go on to the second biggest upset. Now, only longtime fans of the UFC is probably going to know about this one. But the second biggest upset I've ever seen in the UFC was when lightweight champion BJ Penn went up to defeat welterweight champion Matt Hughes. That was a huge freaking upset. Talk about a freaking upset. That was an upset. Because at the time, Matt Hughes was a fucking monster. Like people talk about GSP, and GSP definitely has broke the records. He has the records for title defenses and things like that. But in terms of being a murderous, brutal, dominant champion, man, I don't think there was ever anybody like Matt Hughes. Matt Hughes was definitely the most dominant champion at the time in the UFC. And for BJ Penn to go up and weight, first time that was ever done, and beat the Matt Hughes when not even any welterweight could beat Matt Hughes at the time, that was a fucking upset. And now, the reason why I don't consider it the biggest upset, though, is because even though it was miraculous that BJ Penn went up and beat Matt Hughes at the time, BJ Penn was also probably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC. And BJ Penn definitely had a boxing advantage over Matt Hughes and probably had a jiu-jitsu advantage over Matt Hughes. Now, Matt Hughes definitely had an advantage in strength and wrestling and size, but wasn't enough that day, that's for sure. And BJ Penn was the first champ. All of these different people who call themselves the champ, BJ Penn was the original champ. He was the first guy to ever go up and weight as a champion and defeat another champion. And you know, that was the second biggest upset ever in the history of the UFC. Now, on to the biggest upset ever. The biggest upset ever in the history of the UFC was Amanda Nunes losing to Juliana Pena. Let me explain why this upset is bigger than the other two. The reason why this is a bigger upset is because there is a bigger disparity in talent between Juliana Pena and Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes is by far the better fighter. You know, like I said, BJ Penn has certain advantages over Matt Hughes, and Matt Sera has certain advantages over GSP. Juliana Pena had no advantages whatsoever over Amanda Nunes. No advantages. She's not a better striker, not a better boxer, not a better wrestler. She has no advantage. There's nothing that she can do better than Amanda Nunes. That's why this upset was just the most shocking upset I've ever seen, because of how far apart they are in talent. Amanda Nunes is by far, she's just the better fighter. Yeah, she lost, she did, it happens. But, you know, she didn't get out skilled, she got out willed. And that's why that's the biggest upset. Because Amanda Nunes should have never lost the way, and she never should have lost, and definitely shouldn't have lost the way in which she did. To be gassed by the second round is just outrageous for a champion, in my opinion. You know, so this was definitely the biggest upset ever in the history of the UFC. Amanda Nunes was the 135-pound, 145-pound destroyer, annihilator, you know, demolisher. She literally destroyed everybody in those divisions. So, you know, now with that said, does that mean that Amanda Nunes can come back and automatically just beat her in a rematch? I'm not sure. I'm actually going to do it. My next video is going to be Amanda Nunes' chances of winning back that title. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do a video that looks at it in depth and what her chances are of regaining that title. And they're probably not as high as people are probably going to think they are. But anyway, that's going to be my next video. But anyway, you know, that's how I rank it. The biggest upset I've ever seen was Amanda Nunes losing her 135-pound title to Juliana Pena. The second biggest upset I've seen was Matt Sera. BJ Penn going up in weight to defeat Matt Hughes for the welterweight title. And lastly, the third biggest upset was Matt Sera beating GSP for the welterweight title. That's how I have it. Those are the biggest upsets, you know, I've seen and how I rank them. But anyway, let me get on to the contest. Listen, I have made a new channel. I've made a new channel called UFC Fanatics. That's where I'm going to be putting all of my UFC videos at going forward. I'm going to leave them on Erskine the Prophet, you know, for a while. But hopefully I can get this other channel to take off. Then I'll just be able to move all of my UFC videos to UFC Fanatics. But the problem is I don't like the name UFC Fanatics. I wanted to call the channel UFC Shit. I wanted to be UFC Shit. But evidently I couldn't use the word shit in my title. You know, it's funny, little kids say shit on TV all day long, but I couldn't use shit in my YouTube channel title. So, you know, I went with UFC Fanatics, but I don't like it at all. So the contest is whoever can come up with the best name for my new channel, I'm going to send a $20 Visa gift card to you. Whoever wins, I will make a video announcing the winner, and I will get their information so I can send them the card. So yeah, now the one rule for the contest is the title must include either MMA or UFC. For example, you might decide to call it the UFC expert or the MMA expert, you know, something like that. You know, and you can use that title if you want, you know, but anyway, whoever, like I said, whoever comes up with the best name for my new channel, I will definitely send you that gift card. So that's the contest. I'm probably gonna probably wait about a week, probably give it about 5 to 7 days before I make a video announcing the winner. And that's the contest. So yeah, please, you know, leave in the comments, you know, a name for the channel. Anything you think is cool. It needs to be something cool and catchy. I just really don't like UFC Fanatics, but it was the only thing I could think of at the moment. So it's what I went with. But anyway, everybody, please, please, please subscribe to the channel. Or actually subscribe to my new channel, whatever the name. Right now is UFC Fanatics. So please go down and subscribe. And when the name change, you know, you'll still already be a subscriber. So please go do that for me. You can also subscribe to Erskine the Prophet if you like as well. You know, I'm taking all subscribers wherever you want to, you know, wherever, you know, you can get in. I will definitely make sure you fit in. Please like the video. Please leave your comments to include, you know, the name for the new channel if you want to participate in the contest. And please share the video if you're so inclined. You know, I love y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support. My last video got a lot of views on it, and thank y'all for that. I really appreciate it. You know, hopefully this one will do good as well. And yeah, just thank y'all. Everybody, please stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy. You know, there's that new Omicron variant with this virus going around, so you're gonna probably have to be a little more vigilant. But anyway, I love y'all. Peace.